Hello, I'm Ruth Turner, and I tried doing a transcript and website description together, but that was 11 minutes long. So I'm going to break it up into two videos and hope that still counts. So for my transcript, I wrote, history classes through many means are becoming increasingly despised by students. A strengthening adherence to the importance of standardized testing results in a lack of genuine learning, which begets frustration and apathy in both students and teachers. Websites featuring fun history facts might counter such negativity and encourage an interest in the subject. Because standardized tests, preconceived notions, and a disinterest in useless facts in modern society, and busy personal lives cause indifference toward history, students, especially those about to take history classes at Alvin High School, should discard their unfair expectations to create a wider interest in learning. The increased emphasis on standardized testing forces teachers to follow an uninspiring textbook to ensure that their students are prepared at the end of the year. Greg Milo, a world history teacher in Akron, Ohio, laments that he lacks teachable moments because covering all of the material takes time. He asserts that the courses are not a la carte. The menu is set, and the dishes are going to come out in the same order every time. Milo suspects that because of the set menu and a lack of unique involvement, student minds, no longer as busy as in earlier grades, grow bored. Sometimes even the teacher can get jaded or overwhelmed. In 2002, Tonya R. Moon, Catherine M. Brighton, and Carolyn M. Callahan published their results after taking a survey over the effect of standardized testing on gifted education. These findings indicate that teachers are not likely to engage in effective classroom practices, but instead engage in one-size-fits-all practices, which may be turning certain groups of students off from learning. When students feel understimulated in their learning, they resort to other means of entertainment, which causes a lack of attention, bad grades, and further discourages the teacher. Students then feel that they did everything they could, but simply cannot do well in history classes because of the way their brains are wired. Such preconceived notions can cause problems in future history classes. When the student resolutely believes that their skills at a subject are inadequate, they care less and subconsciously do less to understand the material and do well in the class. In 2017, Zachary Jason wrote an article called Bored Out of Their Minds, in which he examined the likely causes of diminished student engagement in classwork, including a 2014 study that found a cycle in which boredom, meaning frustration, depression, disgust, indifference, or apathy, bore lower test results, which bore higher levels of boredom, which bore still lower test results. Before students even take a history course, modern popular culture influences their expectations, making history class seem like a waste of time. Even J.K. Rowling's popular Harry Potter series includes a negative view of history class. Today was as boring as ever. Professor Binns opened his notes and began to read in a flat tone like an old vacuum cleaner until nearly everyone in the class was in a deep stupor, occasionally coming to long enough to copy down a name or date, then falling asleep again. Enforcing the opinion of the boredom of history in popular culture makes students reluctant to take the class. They may then enter the classroom with the notion that it will be boring and proceed to subconsciously discourage interest throughout the lecture, no matter how engaging it may be. The desire to have meaning in lessons also contributes to a student's indifference to history class. When a person does not understand the relevance or importance of a topic, they may lose interest, wishing instead to take a class with a little more pertinence to modern society. Learning about taxes, for instance, or how to knit. Milo asked his students one day why they thought his class was boring, to which they responded something along the lines of, "How is learning about the Treaty of Versailles going to help me in real life?" Students who have too much on their plates academically and personally often fail to interpret the meanings behind lessons. Personal lives may also prevent engagement in history class. Even in exciting classes, students who have busy lives away from the classroom may find it difficult to concentrate. Those not planning on attending university might lack the incentive for focusing that the student whose plan to attend Harvard is within reach might have. In his article, Zachary Jason quoted Yal Mehta. There's no big external motivating force in American education except for the small fraction of kids who want to go to the most selective colleges. Jason also mentioned that the transition from creative learning, glue sticks, scented markers, and craft paper, to regimented learning, plugging in formulas, filling in fill-in-the-blank worksheets, and writing research papers, result in lower satisfaction and beget rewards at 1,000th the speed of Snapchat and Instagram. Social medias are also renowned for their ability to distract from classes. Internet usage can, however, help teachers. Josh Lukonen in 2003 suggested that teachers get up to date on popular culture so that they compare things from students' everyday lives to lessons to make the meaning behind the lesson more acceptable. Whatever the method or issue, the students must be active participants in the material taught, whatever it is, in order for it to be fully relevant to them. Students easily influenced by media trends may exhibit more eagerness to learn in their history classes if the internet fills with fun history facts. Websites and social media discussions that consist of fun facts may pique the interest of students by providing further knowledge and encouragement to learn more in their classes so they may contribute to a history trend. This would also contribute to a student's desire to have a reason behind learning names and dates. If they know general time frames, they may better understand the factual contributions of their peers to avoid embarrassment and contribute fun facts themselves. As with any trend, however, people need to begin and support it through various means, including websites. Perhaps one more website of fun facts may tip the balance to make history a more widely appreciated class. Some who understand these problems would have an inclination to offer tutoring to help students succeed in a difficult, boring class like history, but although tutoring would help students, the idea contains issues. In many cases, the inability to perform well in the class is a mentality rather than a genuine learning problem. Tutoring only attracts students determined to do well. On February 28, 2020, Drew Sokol published an article titled "Traditional Tutoring Doesn't Work," in which he established that tutors lack effectiveness when they lack adaptability and involvement with the student. So, several studies performed in the United States have concluded that traditional tutoring, on average, does not help the students to the extent that we think. It does not result in significant growth or gains. In fact, sometimes it can be a risk of both time and money. While tutorials are not always available and require stressful socialization with another human being, a website would always be accessible and, if entertaining enough, would reduce stress.